What's going on, everybody? The love is so nice and it's so real and so genuine. Thank you so much for welcoming me back on YouTube and doing these videos for you. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you guys that reached out, that message, that commented below on the previous video I posted a couple days ago. And it feels good to be back. Feels good to communicate with you guys, talk to you guys, and really hammer in some of these topics that people have been asking for some time, and I just had to take a break. So, this topic today, I really want to dive into because I had a lot of people, especially my Asian supporters out there. And this video, obviously, can go across the board on all ethnic backgrounds, all cultures, you name it. If it resonates with you, beautiful, you know? So the question was, what do you do when you don't want to do what your parents envision for you to do? For instance, like I had a couple people say, I don't really want to go to college because I know exactly what I want to do and what I want to go after. And then I have other people saying, I don't want to study the what you call it, the major that my parents want me to study because it's boring or I'm not enjoying it. And if this is what college is all about, then I really don't want to go to college. And this, so a lot of times, you can name it across the board. There's times where, you feel as though you're indebted to your parents because they did a great job raising you, or they've been putting the pressure on you to go to school and go to college and learn certain things. And in this day and age, you can learn so much on a plethora of things, through YouTube, through going to different events and networking stuff on your own. But I'm just giving advice based on what I did, which was I went against my parents, what they envisioned that they wanted me to do. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, what worked for me was I had to have that hard conversation with my parents, especially with my dad. My dad had expectations of, one, I'm an only child, and two, I'm carrying the name. I'm carrying the name for the remainder of the generations to come. So I had the added pressure of being perfect in every single way you can think of, right? And then, with my parents thinking, okay, you studied, you got into college, you got to think about how you're going to have a career, and these majors make a lot of money. And it was always like money driven, always about a career that makes money, studying about what can make you money. And granted, I get it. I understand. You want to be taken care of. You want to have a career that, in their eyes, as immigrant parents, like they came over here in order to have a better life, have a better opportunity. I totally get that. And so imposing that onto me was difficult because I felt as though even when I was a young kid, I was in my heart, it was planted in my heart that I had to live a very purposeful life. And I veered from that from time to time, chasing the money and stuff like that. Because in my head, growing up, success was defined as how much you make, what you have, the accolades, your titles, stuff like that. And as I grew up and going through college, I realized the things that I was studying didn't fit me. Listening to my parents about what I should study in order to have a better life, I was so frustrated. I was so mad. So what I did was I had conversation. I sat them down and I told them, like, can't do it. I'm not doing this. I can't study this major for you. I have to study for me so I can enjoy it. I have to. And then, they were mad. They were upset. But I made a plan. And my plan was, if I'm going to go and choose my own route, I cannot allow them to be part of any of my financial endeavors, right? So meaning that they can't support me. I don't want them to support me. I don't want them to pay for anything. It wasn't, I took care of everything on my own. I took out loans. I worked 3 part-time jobs, paid internships. I hustled. And the one thing I can tell you is this: a lot of people tend to, if they don't do what mommy and daddy says, mom and daddy is not going to pay for them anymore. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Are you willing to put in the hustle? Are you willing to go out and pay for things on your own? Figure out ways to pay for your tuition. Figure out ways to pay for your apartment. Figure out ways to pay for your own food, And devising a plan of attack on how you're going to do it helps because it showcases your parents, you're very structured and organized, and also you mean it because you took the time to plan things out, and really this is where you're going to work and save money, and and all the benefits of you working and going to school because it's teaching you life lessons. Like, lay all that out and then present it to them. But you have to have conviction to do so. You can't have it both ways. You can't, if you're struggling with the fact that your parents want you to study for something, but they're still paying for stuff for you, well, you're under contract with them because they're paying for you. They're paying for your stuff. But if you're willing to put the money where your mouth is and really, this is, for a fact that college isn't for you, and you want to do something else because in your heart, this is it. Like, this is what I know. This is in my heart. I can do this. If it's in college and you want to study a major, then do so. If it's outside of college, then do so. But at the end of the day, you have to make that decision. You have to live up to your own decisions. You have to figure out what works for you. You have to figure out, at the end of the day, what's going to make you happy. Yes, we all want to make our parents happy. We do. My biggest thing I realized is my parents just want to see me, first one in the family, to walk and get and graduate from college. Didn't even matter what major it was. It's the fact that I walked and they said my name, and it's like, woohoo, all that stuff, right? So it's, if you really want to do that, deep down inside that you're done. You don't want to spend time studying a major that your parents are telling you to do. Have that hard conversation. But then, are you willing to put your money where your mouth is when they say, like, if you're going to study what you want to study, we're not going to support you? Like, are you going to, oh, that hurts. I need their money to get by. Well, look, you can either stick it out, be miserable, and do things their way, or soon enough, you'll learn to do things your way and make decisions on your behalf. It's going to happen, right? But you have to have that conversation. And if you got to free yourself. I think you truly have to free yourself from the confines of the financial aspect, because that's like the biggest thing with most people. It's the financial aspect. You're tied in to the fact that your parents are paying for things, right? So, in this generation, this day and age, there's so many different ways to hustle and make money and pay for things that you can figure it out. Because at the end of the day, you have to figure out what's going to make you happy. Are you going to be studying something that is dreadful? And I'll give you a perfect scenario. I was studying computers and engineering, and just realized that wasn't for me. I was bored out of my mind. It just wasn't my personality. I got to college, I really wanted to meet people, talk to people, converse. I didn't want to get stuck in the lab and programming and taking classes that really didn't interest me. And so I ended up graduating. I double majored with psychology, social behavior, and sociology. Those are my two majors. And the thing was, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, to be honest with you. I had no plan after that, but all I knew is at that moment, I enjoyed what I was studying. I didn't get my first F until college. Like, I forgot what class it was, but it was my first F in my life. And I felt like a failure because I've never had that happen before. But I realized because I wasn't even excited on what I was studying. I was going to college and I was dreading going to college because I was going to a class that I freaking hated. I couldn't stand anymore. I go there, I'm not even paying attention because I'm sitting here thinking and wallowing in myself saying, I freaking hate this class. This is so boring. And what I did enjoy was the psychology classes I was taking, the sociology classes I was taking, the way people related with one another, getting to know how certain people's reactions are to things. I took into myself to do experiments on my own without, based on my readings in my sociology class and stuff like that. Like, one of the tests was, not tests, but one of the findings, I remember this from college, was entering an elevator, and instead of turning around facing the door like everybody normally does, is entering and just keep facing that way. And I would do that just to see the people's reactions. And that was fun to me. But again, going back to it, it's like I realized I wanted to learn more about that. I wanted to learn more about people's interactions. I wanted to learn more about how people thought and how they are and why people like conflict with each other and why people get along and things like that. And I decided to I moved out, got some roommates, and that was against my parents' wish. I went to um, a university close to home so I could commute and save money, but I was dreading it because I wasn't. I would come home late because I would stay at the dorms and hang out with my friends who were staying in the dorms. And then I would have to wake up early because I had to get my ass to the parking structure because it was so crazy packed by a certain time that I would get there early and either sleep in the car in the parking structure so I have a parking space for the day, or go there and then go to whatever the library or go to the common center and study there, right? But I was not enjoying it because I would have to commute back and forth late and early, late, and just took a toll. And I realized, you know what? I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna move into my own. I'm gonna pay for my own place. I'm gonna pay for this. Start doing stuff like that. And soon, my parents realized I was serious with it because I was paying for things on my own. Like my mom helped me from here to there. Like she'll groceries and stuff like that because she obviously being the only child. My mom, I'm a mama's boy. I know it. And mom, would drop off groceries and or she would go grocery shopping with me. She's like, "What do you need? What do you need?" Like that's her way of still pitching in and helping me out by helping with groceries or something. But I just remember the time that I realized that, hey, I wasn't happy with what I was studying. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. And I tell people now that that hustle, that environment I put myself in, that risk, that uncomfortable feeling, that damn, what's next, that when your checkbook is like really low and like you're scraping and you're literally on the ramen tip, eating ramen, eating just cracked eggs in ramen, or just making sandwiches day in and day out and just getting by and scraping off of whatever until your next paycheck, living paycheck to pay. Like, I loved it. And you have to love that experience because it's going to be hard. You're not going to sleep a lot. You're going to hustle and worry about how you're going to pay for things. But because you put yourself in there and you put yourself out in Front Street and say, I'm going to make this happen. I'm telling you, I grew so much confidence in myself because I started making decisions based on what I was spending my money on, confidence on, taking my losses. Like if something didn't work out, that's on me. Excuse me. If something was great and was successful, boom, that was on me. That was my win. But that hustle, that grind, that not being able to fall back or not wanting to fall back on mom and dad's support, knowing the fact that they're just like, damn, life would be easier if I just moved back home, or life would be easier if they were paying for tuition, and life would be easier if I didn't want that, because I knew that if I did this and I hustled and I'm scraping from the bottom of the barrel, this would prepare me for the rest of my life, knowing the fact that at any time I fall flat on my ass, I can pick my own ass back up. And I mean, there were times where I struggled with like working, staying focused, studying, taking tests, doing poorly in school, picking my ass up in the second quarter, second semester of it, and just hustling and grinding. And it just builds a lot of conviction. It builds a lot of confidence. I'm a proponent of people doing that. I'm an advocate. I love the fact of the hustle. I love the fact of seeing people take the risks. I love the fact that those people have done that, will understand what I'm saying. But for all you people, for all you that messaged me and asked me what that was what I did. If this helps you out, cool. But understand that that initial conversation you have with your parents may not go well. There might be headaches. There might be button of heads. There might be times of frustration. There might be arguing. But if you can present it in a way where they will respect you, you're one step ahead of the game. And if you can follow through. Because the thing the parents I've realized over the years that parents don't want to see is they don't want to see their kids suffer. I get it. You want your kids not to suffer, so you want to make it easy on them. I get it, but here's the thing. They have to have their own battle scars. You have to get your own battle scars. You have to have your own wounds. You have to have your own losses. You have to understand how it is to fail and how it is to pick your ass back up. That's fact of life. And then when you become like a business person, an entrepreneur, or whatever you want to do, there's going to be times where you're going to get slapped in the face and things don't work out the way you wanted to work out, and, you know, whatever. But you have to learn how to pick your ass back up. And so I will tell you this. Whatever way you choose, be 100% behind your conviction. Be 100% behind your decision. Have conviction on whatever you choose. You know, and it'll all work out in the end, as long as you know that you have to work either way. If you choose to be safe and you know, that's like you want mom and dad to take care of everything, then you can't bitch and complain about what they would like you to study because they're paying for it. You can't have both. You can't have mommy and daddy at, you know, if your parents are understanding because, you know, they understand that, oh yeah, you need to blah, blah, and this is what you want to do, cool. If you have those parents, kudos to you. But if you have the parents that are like, I'm paying for your education, your ass is going to study this is what you're going to do, and you go along with it, then you have no reason to bitch. But if you know deep down in your heart that you can't study that because in your heart that's not for you, and it's like, I can't stand this anymore, then don't let your parents' financial support, you know, do away with it and grind. That's what I did. That would be my advice to everybody that's been asking for this video. So for all the Asian supporters, all the Asian kids out there asking that question, that's for you. For all you guys from other race and ethnic culture, I know this can go across the board and resonate with everybody. So take this, run with it. However it resonates in your heart. Please share this along. Please pass this forward. I'm going to be coming back for some more fire for you guys. So stay tuned. Until next time, take care, everybody. Make sure, check down below in the bio. Log in to get your daily motivational on Instagram and fitness exercises that I've been doing. And just stay up with me on Instagram, Insta Stories. That's where I've been doing a lot of my stuff. But I will be back here doing more videos for you. Because why? We're going to create this positive vibe, this positive platform for everybody now and in the future. So until next time, I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Take care. Os.